Welcome back to another edition of Dear Montana State, our web series dedicated to talking about the fan experience. My name is Bethany Cordell. I'm our Associate Athletic Director, joined today with Leon Costello, our Director of Athletics. Leon, let's just start with taking a deep breath and reflecting on the crazy, awesome fall we've had between the success of our programs, the announcement of the completion of Phase 1 fundraising for the facilities master plan. It's been a lot.
It has been, and I think you know, and Jack is in here, and he knows, but I think our staff knows, our motto this year was take the next step. And for our programs to take the next step, but also for us as a staff to take the next step as well. And I think we're able to see that with the completion of Phase 1 and getting to that $18 million mark and getting to the point to where we're finishing construction documents and getting ready to bid and go out and start a construction project here in the north end zone of the football stadium. We're excited about that. We're excited about what that will mean for the impact of our student athletes and the kind of the efficiencies it'll bring for them throughout the day, but also the development of them as students and as athletes. And we're excited to get that one going. But also, take the next step was also, we want to have success in competition and in the classroom. And we're seeing that, from cross country and Camilla No to, being an All-American, our first one in a while. And for volleyball, continuing to take the steps. And you can see year over year over year what the seniors have done in that program, what our coaching staff has done in that program, and has really put us in a great spot to continue to compete for conference titles. And eventually go win a conference title and compete for a national championship in the NCAA tournament. And then you look at football here to kind of round out the fall, and what an amazing accomplishment, for football. And we, after last year and beating the playoffs again, and talking to Coach Choate about how important it is to get the bye, to really set yourself up for a deep playoff run, and to be able to accomplish that this year is truly remarkable. It's truly amazing. It's a different feeling for us, because we were able to take a breather over Thanksgiving. I think our fans were able to take a breather after a great win in Bobcats Stadium over in Montana, and all the excitement that goes with that. But now we shift towards trying to win a national championship. And I think that's what we're all here for. We're all competitive. We all want to win. And to see our programs continuing to develop and get to that point to where they're competing on the fields of play is really important. But then also you see what they're doing in the classroom, and they're great students, and excited about what's going on in our department.
Gives me goosebumps just talking about it. I mean, talking about taking that next step, a big part of that is bringing in these high caliber opponents that we play. Not only playing them on the road, but getting them to come to Bozeman. And so tomorrow we have a huge doubleheader for Bobcat basketball. Women host Gonzaga, who's in the top 25. Men host South Dakota State, a regular NCAA team. Talk about the importance of not only playing them, but getting them here so that we can have this home court advantage and what that means for the department.
I think it goes back to football as well, as we try and schedule our opponents, and we want to get people here at Bobcat Stadium. And it's difficult. It's difficult to get basketball teams or football teams to come to Bozeman because of cost and just other logistics of getting and traveling here. But when you look at the basketball schedule, that was part of a scheduling consortium that we started with the Summit League. So there's 4 Big Sky schools and 4 Summit League schools. And that's one of the reasons we're playing South Dakota State here. We played North Dakota, we played Omaha, we played at North Dakota State this year. So we're getting like opponents. So quality Division I opponents that we're playing at home and on the road that really have the same issues that we have when you're trying to schedule. And when you look at the end of the year trying to set yourself up for postseason, you want to have those Division I wins. And to get them at home is very difficult. So that kind of scheduling consortium has helped us do that. And I remember sitting down with Coach Binford talking about Gonzaga. She's like, what do you think? I'm like, if you can get them at home, do it. And then you look at her schedule the rest of the year, it's been a very challenging non-conference schedule for the women's basketball team, but I also think that helps them set them up for the rest of the season, for the conference season and playing in the postseason. And to be able to have those 2 teams here as a doubleheader says a lot about our programs working together to make these things happen for our fans. We definitely could have had these as single games, but to throw them together as a doubleheader really makes it a special event, makes it a big night. And combine that with the playoffs and a track meet on Friday, it makes it a really cool time to be in Bozeman and supporting the Bobcats this weekend. And so I'm excited about that. But we have to continue to try and stretch ourselves to get these home games, give ourselves chances to win at home, which will set us up for later on in the seasons.
Absolutely.
Speaking of Saturday,
Yeah.
which we have mentioned, obviously Saturday is a home game, but it's an NCAA event, and there are certain things that go along with an NCAA event. So why don't you tell our fans what they can expect to see on Saturday at Bobcat Stadium?
Absolutely. Like you said, it's an NCAA event that we're hosting at Bobcat Stadium. And with that comes different rules and regulations based with the NCAA. And so everything from no artificial noisemakers, so sadly you have to leave your cowbells at home, though we do expect you to be just as loud on your own, to everything we do on the video board, whether it's replays, crowd prompts, etc., has to be neutral. We're providing a neutral experience, at least from the production standpoint. One thing I am particularly excited about, however, is we have been granted a waiver from the NCAA, like we were last year, to feature our rodeo team to run out, all of our pyro on the field. So those sorts of pieces will still be normal, but I think it is important that fans kind of have that in their head, that it's more of a challenge for you to come and create this home field advantage. Because we don't really get to do a lot on the video board and everything with the field as well.
And I think what I've noticed over the years going to NCAA playoff games, especially at the FCS level, is you'll see certain things on the video board that will be NCAA in nature, very neutral, but also you'll see some stuff from visiting teams.
Absolutely.
Their intro videos and things like that you will see on our video board that will help create kind of that neutrality. We will still be able to do, a lot of our normal things with the cannon and the first downs and things like that, but there are some differences, and I think you did a great job of pointing those out. And I think it's just it's good for us to remind our fans that they're going to see a little bit of different things during that game just because it is an NCAA event.
Exactly. And I think one of those things too that's significantly different is we don't have the ability to just give free tickets to our students. And one of the things that I want you to talk about is just how this community has stepped up so that we do have the ability to continue to offer students free tickets to the game on Saturday.
I'm so glad that you asked that, because our community and our fans have stepped up all year long. The environment that has been in Bobcat Stadium all year has been tremendous. It's like nowhere else. And for this event, having students having to pay for tickets, having our community and sponsors and individuals step up to pay for student tickets really goes a long way to helping us create that environment that is in the stadium, but also thanking our students for coming every single game as well. And we want them to come back. We want them to help us create that environment, and to really see those two things really marry up, where we have donors and sponsors that know the importance of our students in creating that environment, and then have students take advantage of that, really says a lot about what's going on here. We just got to throw it out there and the students snatch them up, and that's really cool to see. There's a lot of other places where student attendance is dwindling and it's tough, but as soon as we throw that out there, the tickets are gone. And so we're excited about it. They're continuing to go, and I think as people have seen donors and sponsors pay for them, that has encouraged others to step up and do it as well. And we'll put it out there, we still will take more. If they want to help pay for more students to go to the games, we'll take those donations and let the students know, and we will try and get more students to pick up their tickets.
Well, and I love that you talked about just the community as a whole, because it's been everything from the office of the president who's purchased tickets to season ticket holders who've called in and want to buy 2 student tickets, and everything in between. And I think that just really reflects what Bozeman and the Montana State community is all about. So, all right, I think this is our last video before the new year, so we just want to say happy holidays to Bobcat fans. I'm so excited for the rest of this week, all of our events, and go Cats.
I just want to say thanks again for all the support throughout the year. We're looking forward to a deep run here in the playoffs. We had a great fall. Looking forward to a great winter, as our winter sports are kind of in the middle of their non-conference season, moving into after the first of the year, their conference season. And looking forward to seeing you all here on Saturday, but also in the field house for the upcoming basketball schedule as well. Go Cats.